receiving the Formula One is one thing. However, now reality has kicked in because it is behind us in the Mad Lab and we have to transform this thing into the most ultimate drift weapon. So whilst the boys are pulling it apart, trying to take on as much as they can, learning as much about the old technology from the 80s, where we can apply our new technology from current day and what we're building with the rotaries and suspension, geometry, steering and all of that. Well, how do we get to the point of having this car in the Mad Lab? Let me just take you back a couple of months to when I got to break the news to the boys. We're building a drift Formula One. It's kind of surreal what I'm looking at right now on the screen, but this project, 10 years in the making, 2016 was the first email, and now I'm Google searching for the most ridiculous project for the starting platform. Like, it's honestly surreal. The boys are downstairs working. I actually don't even know how to, like, I don't even know how to tell them about this project or their reaction.
Are you serious, or are you just up here having fun? Because we get this all the bloody time.
This is by far going to be so tough.
I'm sort of feeling a little bit heart attacky at the moment.
Yeah. Should we just go and tell them? What a page do I even put on the frickin' screen? I'm going to get the boys. Al, got an Apex Seal question, mate. Brendan, you might as well come up too, because this might require some of your knowledge.
Does he know what they are?
Yeah, no, I was thinking of going 8mm.
Just get the ceramic ones, that's the main ones to get.
I can't tell you guys, you're just going to have to come around here and try to figure out what's going
You're making
on.
your own Apex Seals now, are you? That's not, what the hell?
Why?
What are you doing?
Welcome to our next project.
Nah, you
Are you serious?
This is our next project,
We're
boys.
going to do an F1 car.
Yeah, we're going to, well, I don't like the specs of the rules, so we're going to rock up to the grid and race Formula One. Sideways. Yeah.
What year are you looking at? Because ultimately you've got to go for the mean years.
80s.
80s,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
F1 for sale. I just go straight to images because I hate reading.
Oh yeah.
100%. Ferrari.
Oh, it's 80s, that's the mean years.
You got to be mindful, we don't want to be cutting up something that's a very nostalgic piece of history.
I think every F1 car is the 80s is a nostalgic piece of history.
NA V10 or just rotor swap. I don't even know how you do. I don't even know what these look like if you take all the panels off. Well, we've still got bloody 6 months, mate. Well, it's more than 100 days.
It is. Yeah, but you haven't even found the car yet. And it's in Europe or wherever.
Wait, is that the price or the phone number? Found some that said POA.
Yeah. It's usually because they can't put enough zeros behind the one, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, this is actually scaring me, how much this is going to cost. But oh, look at this one. That is freaking sick. So that's the exact same as the one I just seen at HQ that Johnny Herbert drove.
So the cool thing about it is you don't have to sign on it. It'll speed things up fast.
one less job.
Where are we putting even a handbrake? Like the most simple thing that you need on a drift car.
And the
like, where do
shifter,
you
see,
put
look,
it?
this era of 90s, they've gone a paddle shift. This excites you, mate, because we've got rose joints
Oh, yeah, we
frickin'
do.
coming on. I don't know what's
Yeah.
underneath this.
Oh, that's our shocks under there, the springs.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely
Like, where's even the brake lines?
That's Bluetooth. The only
Ah,
thing
just
is,
needs a
only
big
thing I
frickin'
don't like
exhaust.
about that is it has an engine cover. You've got to go to that area where they had no engine covers, because if we're putting a road tag in it, we've got to shut
Oh yeah,
that
but we
thing
can
right
cut
off.
that out and make it look cool too. But
You've got to cut out an F1 car. So I'm going.
So of all of the options, what we've landed on is the Leighton House March. Why the Leighton House March? The first thing that attracted me to this car was not just the iconic teal livery, but the fully exposed engine with no covers. For us to be able to showcase all the beauty and artwork that we're going to create in this thing, it was the ultimate recipe. So March itself, a super iconic brand, starting Formula One back in the 70s, having drivers like Niki Lauda, Sir Jackie Stewart winning the second event that these guys literally lined up for. Fast forward into the 80s, the platform we have behind us, they transformed the Formula 3000, the 87B, into what was dubbed the 87P. They changed out the motor, they changed out some tires to make it F1 spec, and this is what we have now behind us, is that platform where we wanted to do the same and make our interpretation of the 87B. We're going to call this the 87D for drift, just like our 787D, and make the ultimate fire-breathing drift Formula One. Need a Phillips Flathead. See what lies beneath. Oh, sick. But this is cool because if same NA, we can literally have oil cooler on one side and radiator on the other.
It's just so crazy. You've got that area there, and then you've got all this
Hanging off it.
hanging off the back.
It's scary to think to watch when these things hit the wall and they just split in half and
Yeah.
frickin' flying everywhere. While we're pulling this car apart, we're looking at how everything works to see if we can adapt what's already there.
About as Kiwi as it gets.
If we can use what we got, it's going to cut a lot of time out of this project.
Like this wheel.
The most important part of a drift car is mega steering lock. So you can see now it's coming around and hitting you got a lock stop. So that's going to come around and hit that control arm. Well, that's a good amount of lock when the tie rod's not connected. This whole top plate should just come off. So should we
We'll remove that.
take that?
Yeah.
Wow, that is light. Should we cheat this onto that?
Yeah.
Because this is the old pickup point here. By shortening this up, we could literally drill a hole there, which is going to give it a little bit more throw. But just to cheat that, we can pick up the stud here because that rose joint's going to slide over. You know, there could be a different rack available for this car. To try find that could be really hard, but we're hoping that we can keep this rack. Chances are very slim of that. Oh, look at that. Oh yeah, so we've got more lock, but you can see now this is bottoming out. By shortening that up, yeah, it gives us more lock, but at the same time makes the car far heavier to steer.
Oh yeah, I reckon we can get more out of that rack. Yeah, I reckon we could get that. So that was actually goes in that distance there.
Yeah, you can see where it's...
Yeah, we just got to pull that rack out and pull it apart. The whole rack's solid, and so if we could machine it down so it goes inside it further.
That's amazing, because remounting another rack in here, or even just finding a rack that's going to fit in this tiny little monocoque, is going to be super challenging. Link MX5. So this is all stuff that we currently run or have modified in the past. So this is off a NC MX5, which is like a 4-bolt that bolts in. So this is all late model stuff, easy to find. We're around Woolwood brakes and stuff with this kit. This one here, this is essentially a knuckle that we run on Link's NA MX5. It's a 4-stud, again, all current technology stuff, that easy to find parts, bearings, calipers, brake rotors. Well, I think going to this setup, fabricating our own knuckle, I know this could work by drilling some holes. It's going to give us some extra lock, but it's not going to be perfect.
We'll go this way. Guys, I'm just going to copy everything that's here, dimension-wise, apart from probably maybe caliper I'm at the C, but
Yeah, the heights and everything.
the height for the board joint and everything.
Yeah.
I can get all the datums from that.
Yeah, and then if we can get this hub face, once the rotor's on, which is like 10 mil or whatever, if that hub face is as flush as possible with a caliper, then I can actually run some old school wheels.
Yeah. Oh, we want those.
Well, there we go. We've got a bit of a game plan for our steering. Similar kind of work to the McLaren, really. Actually, a little bit more because we're going to refabricate an entire knuckle, whether we fabricate it or whether we CNC it. A lot of work, but it's going to work. Yeah, Drift F1.
Oh, you can see right down there the engine mount down the bottom, right down the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
And then one up the top here. And
Wow,
that's it.
Far out.
That's hanging all of
is
that right there.
Crazy.
That's why they don't need the drivers know too much, eh? Yeah. Because they end up like this.
Can we at least put 2 more, so we've got 6 mounts holding this thing together?
This thing is so light.
So see these bolts with the springs on it?
Yep.
They're like an extra safety. So if that R clip happens to pop out, those pins can't pop past those. Yeah, we're just trying to figure out, did they build the car around the steering rack? That's what we're trying to figure out right now, because it's not exactly being easy to get out.
I say chop it.
Okay, so yesterday the boys had a little bit of struggle just trying to figure out the dismantling process of this car, getting everything out. To get the rack out, they literally had to pull the rack apart in the monocoques.
So if you see the rack here, I literally had to pull it apart, pull the pinion, so we could actually get this shaft to slide out through this hole, like so, to get this out of the car.
So when this rolls, so if we were to literally replicate this and machine out some more teeth, obviously it's going to be able to walk the shaft across, which is going to give us more throw.
Once we got that out of the hole, then we also pulled out the struts as well.
Old school conies, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So what's the plan with these then?
Ideally, it's a conversation I want to have with Mike, and I would like to get them serviced.
We are about to split this thing apart. We have dismantled most of all the parts, and now we're at the stage of disconnecting the rear end, which is the motor and transaxle, from the actual monocoque itself. Let's get into it.
We're going straight into the back of my ute with us, is that right? Yeah.
If you can carry it, you can have it.
So we should be able to roll this back. Well, we're at a point where this could potentially even go and get painted. Like, I know paint's the last thing, but we can't chop this because obviously it's going to take all the strength out of it. So, and it's not like we're doing wide body kit or anything like that. All the panels that are going on, you can see behind us, are still immaculate, the original panels.
If you guys didn't know what this is for the gear shifter. So if Mike plucks some gears, you'll see this moving it out.
Something like that. If you want to see things firsthand, you want to see a little bit more behind the scenes, well, make sure you head to madlab.tv. Take advantage of the 7-day free trial.
I love a challenge. Let's go. I'm loving life right now. Yeah, so we're cutting the fuel bladder out of here purely because we're just struggling to try and collapse it and get it out the hole. The reason being is because we're not going to use this anymore. We're going to be making our own drop-in, custom fabricated fuel tank to go in the hole.
Our cup of tea's ready, so we go do that first.
That's where the shifter goes on to.
Yeah, we've been really stuck on this gearbox, like which is the right gearbox. There's so many that seem like the perfect gearbox, but then the delivery time can't be done. Like HGT, for instance, they've got the 3MO transaxle. It looks like the perfect gearbox, got all the mounting points, but unfortunately we just can't get it in the crazy timeline. However, come across Elite, which means we need to do a little bit more work. These guys have gearboxes in UK, and we have found someone in New Zealand that actually has one, and they're willing to lend us the gearbox, which then we can 3D scan, digitize everything, and really speed up the process. So you know what this means. Now that we've got the gearbox, we can now figure out what size rotary engine we can squeeze into this thing. I know what I want to do. Don't really want to do this, but it's kind of got to be done because it's not my colours. So at this stage, we are just about finished stripping it all down. We have a game plan with the rear, game plan with the front with all the steering. So it's gonna go off and get colour of paint. It's gonna speed up the process. So there we have it. We have a fully stripped out monocoque. Last of the graphics is off. We're gonna go and put a coat of paint on this thing. Next week, this thing will be ready to start assembling. We haven't got many parts that we can start assembling with yet, but we wanna be able to do this process once. Got some paint. I know it looks very bland and boring being just ice white from the old Lyon House livery, but the vision of what this will look like finished is going to look far different. Very special. It's quite sad to get rid of this colour scheme because it's pretty cool and iconic, but we want it to be our cars and have our personality, so it's going our colours with our graphics. Cool, so we've got a monocoque now, and then we've ordered a gearbox, and the best part about it is we have someone in New Zealand has got one in a GT40, so Philip is pulling it out of his project, and he's going to lend it to us. We've picked this one because the axles, you can see, come out right at the front, so it's close to the bow housing. So some of these trans axles that we've been looking at, the axle shafts come out on the backside. Which means that of course it's going to be a long wheelbase. Finding the gearbox with the axles on the front side of the crown wheel allows us more room, which means I can have my dream setup, because the idea here is with our measurements that we'll be able to fit a 5 rotor. That is freaking sick. Bro, I'm scared and I haven't even got anything hooked up yet. By extending the wheelbase 130 mil longer to turn it into a 5 rotor, cosmetically it doesn't, like, people aren't going to notice that we have extended it. I've got to go catch a plane. So some great progress with having this now to be able to speed up the process for the fabrication side of it, the design side of it. Unfortunately, I've got to fly back out, so it's just one of those things, get all excited, we've got a whole bunch of bits, keep the momentum going, but I've got to flow on. These guys are going to stay here, and then we can really start piecing this thing together.